Hello students, it's Coach Jensen. I'm here in Flagstaff, Arizona, about a 2.5 hour drive from my school building, taking a hike this morning. We're going to be going up to Humphreys Peak, which is the highest point in all of Arizona. So some reasons that you might want to take a hike. It's a really good workout. It gives your leg muscles a good workout, your cardiovascular system, your heart. It's a good way to stay in shape, and it's a really nice way to relieve stress. Some things that you want to bring with when you go hiking is plenty of water. I would always try to pack more than you think you need. Probably some healthy food, like some Kind bars or some beef jerky or something to give you a little energy along the way. Some good hiking shoes that are going to have stability, and some good hiking socks as well. And make sure that you have plenty of time to complete the hike before dark. All right, students, it's really important to be well prepared for a hike. So you want to be drinking a lot of water and getting your hydration in. I've got 3 of these containers with. Each one is 1.5 liters. So I've got 4.5 liters out here, which is more than a gallon. And I've got a thing of Pedialyte too. So we just passed somebody on the trail that was on the side throwing up because they weren't properly hydrated and they were eating pumpkin cookies. So I would recommend trying to avoid the sweets and the greasy things before you go on a hike so that your body's working the way it's supposed to be. Another thing that you should do to be well prepared is to bring a friend or a family member out here. So I've got my friend Travis, who's another experienced hiker out here because we're doing a pretty difficult hike today. So you're going to notice that it looks way different than how it looks in Phoenix. So we are still in Arizona, even though it almost looks like a different state. It almost looks like we're in Colorado or something out here because the trees are so much different. But once you get out of the low desert in the valley, we're technically up here in the high desert now. So we've got a lot of different types of trees. So you'll notice that some of the leaves are yellow and some of the leaves are green. The reason for that is that these green trees, these pine trees, they keep their needles or their leaves, they keep those year round. They're called evergreens. These aspen trees up here with the yellow leaves, those change colors and turn yellow before they fall off for the winter. In Phoenix, we're pretty close to sea level. We're a little bit above sea level for elevation. Up here in Flagstaff, we're at about 10,000 feet elevation right now. And when we get to the top of the mountain, we'll be over 12,000 feet, pretty close to 13,000 feet up there. So there's going to be a lot of different changes in the scenery and the trees as we go through this hike. So I'll be sure to get some film and show you guys as the landscape changes as we keep moving throughout this hike. All right, guys, so the ground is starting to change a little. When we started, it was pretty nice and flat. Now that we're getting up a little higher, it's becoming a lot more rocky. Back over in that area, there's a huge rock pile. So this rock was actually formed by lava. This mountain that we're climbing actually used to be an active volcano. That's how it was formed and built up all those layers. So you might notice I'm breathing a little heavy. We're about 2 miles into the hike. It's been kind of challenging, but it hasn't been too hard. But it feels a lot harder at this high elevation up here because the air feels a lot more thin and it's harder to be efficient with the oxygen. So you've got to take a little more breaks and take it a little slower than you normally would at a lower elevation. All right, we're almost 2 hours in now. Getting pretty close to the 3.5 mile mark. And as you can see, there's a lot less trees. It's a little more open and exposed, not quite such a thick forest. All the aspen trees and the colored trees are pretty much gone. And now we've got just pine trees here. Pretty soon, we should be getting ready to hit the ridge line and get up above the tree line. All right, so we're quite a ways up here. You can see there's a point where the trees aren't really growing up there. We're getting pretty close to the tree line here. Gained a lot of elevation since we started. You can see the parking lot way down there. Tell you what, guys, it's getting pretty hard out here. We're up above the ridge line. It's a little colder. We're hiking some pretty steep, exposed cliffside up here, but the views are magnificent. All right, we're super close to the summit. Made it all the way up that tough ridge line. We've just got one little push left to go. All right, students, we made it to the top. Feels absolutely amazing up here. Really hard journey. We ascended over 3,000 feet from the beginning. We made it up in 3 hours and 7 minutes of pretty much straight hiking and pushing it hard the entire time. There's Trav. Let's check out these views up here. So you guys can see the rock here. This is actually volcanic rock that was lava at one time, and that's what helped to form the mountain. And then if you look down, you can see some yellow. That's where we've got those aspen trees that are changing colors. And then you can see the big pine forest and some other mountains out there as well. And then if you look over this direction, you can actually see where the Colorado River is carving out over toward the Grand Canyon. All right, so it's always good to bring some nice healthy snacks. So I've got the Old Trapper old-fashioned beef jerky. Not a sponsor yet, but if you're interested in sponsoring, hit me up. Trav put me onto that. And then he's got some Cliff Bars over there. I've got some Kind Bars in the bag and some water. So I definitely want to make sure that you're getting enough food and keeping your energy levels up on a challenging hike such as this. All right, students, so that is all the footage that I got of the hike. I wanted to just show you a few pictures that I took while I was on the hike so you could get a little feel of what the scenery was like, and talk to you about some reasons that I really enjoyed this hike, and maybe you would enjoy it as well, or another hike that's a little easier. So the reasons that I really love hiking are because it's fun, it's challenging, it's a really good stress reliever, and it's a good way to bond with somebody that you care about. So myself and my friend Trav had a really fun time on this hike. It was an extremely difficult workout that really challenged us and it helped us to become stronger. And it was just a great way to spend the day. There's a saying that says, nature is the best medicine, all right? And a lot of times that's really true. The fresh air, the trees, and there's just something about being so outside that's so good for the mind, body, and spirit. Another reason that hiking is really beneficial is because that feeling that you get when you're at the top is just amazing. The sense of accomplishment that you just completed something that was hard and challenging, and it was difficult, but you chose not to give up and you chose to persevere and make it to the top is a really special feeling that can help you carry positive momentum into other areas of your life. So I challenge you to find and make some time to get outside and enjoy nature.